Hey guys, Bubba from Forrests Garage. Today we're going to be putting in 6 ignition coils and 6 spark plugs into a 2015 Jeep JK 3.6 liter. The intake manifold does have to come off to get the plugs and the coils on the driver's side. So we're going to do a quick walkthrough for you guys on how to get these out and how to get them replaced and take care of a misfire. Alright guys, to get started, we're going to remove a couple vacuum lines here. Got these two on top of the throttle body. These are going to have to come back off. Pull this guy off the intake. I already loosened the intake before pulling up this video. Take these two guys out. Pull your overflow hose off. Pull this guy out. There is a connector right down here for the intake air temperature sensor. You're going to want to disconnect that before pulling this tube up. There's also a connector for the throttle body right here. You can get to that before or after you take this tube out. Two 10mm bolts. Got one here, one here. Okay, after getting the intake tube out and getting these unplugged, kind of hard to see, but down here there's going to be two 10mm bolts. Off to the side we're going to have two 10mm nuts, and then take your little rivet tool, something like this. You're going to want to stick it down in here, pull this little Christmas tree guy off. And then this bracket should pull right out. It's going to look like that. There's also another bracket I started taking the nuts off of over here on the side of the intake. There's going to be two 10mm bolts here. There's two hold downs for the wiring harness down under here, and then on the bottom there's two more bolts for that bracket, and I'll bring you guys back once I get that off. Alright guys, we got the bracket off. It's kind of a pain in the butt. There's 13mm back here. See if I can get a better shot of this. It's like right here, and there's a 13mm right here, and I just loosened them. I did not take them all the way out. That way this bracket is kind of hanging here and it's not so hard to get back in. I was trying to save myself a little bit of time coming back, but this will come out far enough over them bolts on the intake manifold to get this guy out. So now we're going to start taking out the intake manifold bolts, which run along here, 8mm, and we'll get this guy off and I'll bring it back. To get to this, I did loosen up the inner fender flare, and we came through here. You can see the bolt there, right here. Just used a long extension 3/8 wobble socket and a 13mm deep well. Something like this. Let me get this intake manifold off and we'll bring you guys back. Give me a moment. Alright guys, we got the intake manifold off. I want to do here, I usually take a little pick, something like this guy here, and just grab part of that O-ring, get it out of that groove, pull her out. Once you pull it out, always take a lint-free rag, a towel, something, stuff this down in here. You don't need a bolt or a nut or anything else like that going down in somebody's engine. Towels are not expensive, guys. Engines are. make sure you take precautions. Only takes a couple seconds, a couple towels. No big deal. All right, we're gonna get the rest of these O-rings out, get these plugged up, and then we're gonna start taking out some coils and plugs. All right, guys, we got the plugs, holes plugged with some towels. Got the O-rings for the intake manifold out. Now we're gonna start taking out the coils. Make sure you unplug them. There's a 10mm bolt holding each of them down. Underneath the coils is gonna be the spark plug. I'll bring you in for a close-up here so you can see what we're doing. All right, guys, here we have the coils. Customer was complaining of a number 2 misfire, which on these 3.6 is the front driver's side bank here, I believe. Don't quote me 100%. I looked it up last night. I'm pretty sure this is the guy here. So it's usually a pretty good idea when you got this intake manifold off, if you got a bum coil or a bum plug, just go ahead and do them all. If not, you're going to be doing this whole process over again. These can be a little stingy. What I like to do is pull in, press the tab down, pull back, and then they come off. These are nice. They're not, can't really mix them up. The wires don't reach any other one, so you can do them all at once. Or you can do them one at a time if that makes you feel better. Like I said, these are 10mm. Okay, now that we got those off, sometimes these can be a pain in the butt. Sometimes they come right out. It just depends on the day. So what I like to do is just grab them, do a little wiggling. If you're persistent enough, they'll come out. I have had these where the boots will stay down in there. And the coil just comes off. You can stick a long pick down in there. I hope you get those out. So now what we're gonna do, take our spark plug socket. Let's see, there's a plug down in that hole. Got 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. Let's get these out and see what they look like. Alright, when doing these Jeeps, a few other vehicles I can't think of off the top of my head, the plugs are far down in there. I like to use a spark plug socket that's attached. This won't come off. It's also magnetic, no rubber boot, so you don't have to worry about the boot staying down, the plug not coming out. Just drop that down in there. Make sure it's on snug. Put your ratchet on there. I like to loosen them all first. Just personal preference, you can do what you want. Once I crack them loose, grab the old Milwaukee Lightning whirler and just take them the rest of the way out. If you have one of these, do not, I repeat, do not put the plugs back in with it. Once you crack them loose, it's okay to pull out. They're loose, they come nice and easy. You know nothing's broke. but you do not want to put these in. Any type of impact, ratchet, electrical, or air. Always do all your plug installs by hand. Torque them down. Alright guys, once you get the plugs out, always do a comparison. Sorry for the shaky phone. Make sure your reach is the same. Make sure the gap looks right. Check out your old plug. Make sure nothing looks funny. It's not white. It's not super dark. It's not burning oil in the cylinder. You know, lean, rich, whatever. Just always do a double take. When we do these Jeeps here, we use OEM plugs. We use Champion spark plugs. You could go with something else if you want. Autolite, whatever. I recommend Champion. That's what works best in these. They seem a little finicky on other stuff. Got our intake gaskets here. Got our new coils there. Let's start putting these bad boys in, and we'll torque them down and get the other side done. Alright guys, we're getting ready to put the coils back in. Again, just kind of look at them, you know, make sure everything looks the same. Same length, same plugs. 2-prong, hold down's in the right place, bolt looks right. Alright, let me throw you guys up on the engine, we'll get this put in. So the new coils come with new bolts. So you don't have to reuse the old ones. You can throw them in your toolbox for a rainy day or something. Alright, you'll see the coil has a tiny space. When you tighten that down, that'll pull that all the way down to where it needs to be. You don't need to go crazy on these or anything, just till it snugs up. Just watch the bottom, see it come down there. That's good. Plug her back in. 1 cylinder down, 2 to go on this side. By the way guys, if you're bored, go over and check out our Facebook page, Forrests Garage. We got a lot of new vendors, a lot of cool new parts we can get. If you're looking for tires, wheels, lift kits, phone mounts, recovery gear, air compressors. We got a lot of it. If we don't have it, we can get it. And there it came down. Alright, one more to go. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and join our Facebook page. Keep an eye on things. We do run specials for oil changes, brakes, stuff like that. So keep an eye on the page, see what we got going on. If you need something, don't hesitate to call, email, or send us a message. Number 3 down. So make sure everything's plugged in. Just give everything a little wiggle, make sure it's tight, nothing's loose. Do not forget your insulators. I'll tell you how many times I put something fully back together. Realized I didn't put that there. Alright guys, on to the other side. Alright guys, we got the coils unplugged. This middle coil here, you have to unplug from back under here. Kind of get your hand in. You can take this bracket off if you want. There's 2 10mm bolts down here, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. And to me, it's less of a pain in the butt than just taking this off. So what I do to get these out, I stick one hand on this side. I kind of come in like this and grab the connector. And then on the connector, instead of pressing down with my finger to release the tab, I'll use this guy as a representation here. So what I do is I take the pick while it's plugged in, and I get under this here and pull up on it to give you this action. And then you can pull out on it. Like I said, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but you can do it. I have faith. All right, let's get these last 3 plugs and coils out. Then we can put the intake back together. You might have to get the right combination of extensions and sockets to get to some of these on this side. Again, they like to fight coming out sometimes. Just give a couple wiggles and pulls. And this is what I was talking about earlier. So sometimes this boot stays down in here, and then all you get is the coil head that comes off. So what I like to try to do when this happens, grab a long pick, something like this. It doesn't always come right out. And it's nicer when you don't have to reuse these old boots. Kind of put a pick in there and see if you can get it to help you pull up. It doesn't always work. Alright. Let me try to get this out and I'll explain how I got it out afterwards. Camera's kind of in my way, but let's see what we can do. Alright guys, so I'm kind of glad this happened on camera. Like I was saying earlier, the boots sometimes don't come out. So this particular one, the head came off here, and then I tried to pull it out with a pick. So we got that part, we got that one, and then the bottom of the boot. Like I said, things don't always go your way. Sometimes you got to work around problems. So I did end up just using, let me see this here, this pick. Just kind of stick it down in, grab what you can of the boot, kind of run it through the side like this, and then just work your way up, pull it up out of the plug hole. You might get 3, 4, 5 pieces out before the bottom comes out, like I did. It's just the name of the game, guys. This is what we're here for, though. If you guys need any help, schedule an appointment. We'll make sure we get you taken care of. Not everybody feels comfortable doing this in their driveway on the weekends. No problem with that. Alright, just so we keep this video not too long, I'm going to go ahead and get the other 2 plugs and coils out and reinstall the 3 plugs and coils. I'm just going to hyperlapse the rest of this video, and we'll get the intake put on, and that way you guys can just watch from here on out. If you have any questions, just comment on the video, ask away. I'll do my best to answer. Like I said, if you're not comfortable doing this yourself, just bring it in, let us take care for it. Go ahead, message us, call us, email us, whatever you want to do to schedule an appointment and get your Jeep taken care of, or any other car for that matter of fact. got the 2015 Jeep JKU 3.6 spark plugs, coils, and intake gaskets all done today. We're gonna fire it up, make sure the cylinder 2 misfire is gone. If it's gone, we're gonna race the check engine light, make sure it doesn't come back, give the customer a call, let them know their Jeep is ready for pickup. If there's any other videos you guys would like to see, just let us know. We're always doing something. I'm sure I can come up with whatever you're wanting to see. Until next time, tune into Forrests Garage. This is Bubba. We'll see you on the flip side. See ya.